This is Sam with Nexus Workshop, and we are looking at the HoLiS system today. The part we're going to look at in this video is going to be the boxes themselves. Now, I only have one box to show you guys here with me, but this is a HoLiS box. It has this pentagon shape, which is what we use on all of our HoLiS boxes to kind of ground into, hey, that's a thing that I can interact with. Um, but we have a couple different versions of this. So this is our basic box. It has, there's an RFID reader here in the center. It has two buttons on it. Technically, we consider them as an add button and a remove button. And it's got these two crystals. Whenever this box is going, one of these crystals is always glowing and pulsing, which tells me that, hey, it's connected, it's working, everything's going right. And then this other one tends to give feedback on what's happening. So I scan a party, it goes purple. And that's what tells me, hey, it's got a party. And I can scan a quest and it would go blue, because blue is what means assign quest. If I scan the party, it goes purple, and then I push the button, it goes green because it completed them. And there's all sorts of colors and things that it can do. Really, you're mostly just looking for, hey, did it interact with me? That means that I got a thing. There's more you could read into it, but the big things you're looking for is it pulsing? That means it's working. And did it interact? Cool. That means it talked to the server, it got its thing back. Some other versions of the boxes that we have one that doesn't have buttons. We have a version of this that has a hardwired Ethernet on it and is PoE, so we can power it more reliably in more adverse network conditions. It can be hardwired, so it's not dealing with Wi-Fi. It can be PoE, so we're not having to run power to it, all that fun stuff. And then we have a version that has 8 buttons and no RFID reader. That one just lets me interact with a lot of different quests in a lot of different ways, where I don't need to scan it. I know what I'm doing. The cool thing about these is there's actually many, many different modes that they operate in. Throughout our game, we have what we call goddess mode, assignment, registration. We have buttons, we have log. And so each of these different modes has different, oh, and quest board. And each of these different modes has a totally different set of behaviors, but they all follow the same sort of rules, and they're all storing that into its EEPROM, or non-volatile system storage, which means that I can unplug it and replug it, and it remembers itself. It's configured, it's there. The really cool thing this year is that it's one piece of firmware. So we built one unified firmware that has all those different modes in it, and it's just a configuration in the back end. And we're going to show you the Station Tools app, which is how we control all of those stations. We configure them through Station Tools. But I just wanted to talk through some of the other features that the boxes themselves have, because they're actually really, really cool. The first one is that before I even connect a box, if I've just built a box, I flash it with its firmware, I take it out to site, and I plug it in. The first thing it starts doing is it starts using something called ESP Now, which is a functionality that the ESP boards have. There's actually 3 different versions of hardware that could be in them. Some of it is architecturally, like we started with ESP 8266s, and then this year we upgraded to ESP 32s, but then the hardwired ones are ESP 32 S3s. So there's 3 different board architectures. The firmware handles all of that. We're doing one code base and then building for all the different systems. And when we push, it pushes the right one. But all of them have ESP now. And so what that means is when I go out and I turn it on, it immediately starts yelling to the world, hey, I'm here. I don't know my network. I don't know how to get onto anything. And if there's one of its siblings out there, they'll say, hey, I got you. And it will send it encrypted the network credentials and the MQTT broker, which is how it actually talks. It talks over MQTT. It sends it that broker information and that connection information, and it will bring it online without us touching anything. We don't have to go in and configure it. We don't have to tell it what the Wi-Fi is. If there are 2 HoLiS boxes out there within about 300 feet of each other, they'll pop up. And they keep doing that, and they have a timestamp to it too, so it won't bring it back offline. It'll only bring it online, because it only does it if it has it connected. There's some other logic there. But they bring themselves all up. There's also some other things about, like, if it can't connect after a while, it does a restart, it does some other things. It'll go into an AP mode, which would then let me, if it was just one box out by itself, it would go into AP mode, and then that would let me connect with my phone and set the credentials from there. And then it would start yelling them to all its siblings. So if it has other HoLiS boxes out there, I bring one online, and they all bring each other online. Um, there is also a automatic update server that we have built into our backend tool, our main server app, which is one of the not 9 apps in my launcher here. That one has an automatic update OTA server, which will automatically bring them up to the latest version. So I just put the latest version of the 3 builds of firmware for the 3 boards in there, and then they automatically will They send a message when they come online. It says, "Hey, you're out of date. Update." And it'll automatically update them. So all of this management is 100% automated. It just happens. They bring themselves online. They bring themselves to the latest version. They make themselves work. Another thing is like there's a lot of different LED feedback that's happening on these crystals. There's different colors that they do and things like that. None of that is hard coded. It's all stored on them, and there's a global LED config that we can send out to everyone. uh, we also have box level LED config we can do where we can change like the color order if we use different pixels to build that batch, things like that, because we have a lot of different pixels. We have 12-volt and 5-volt, different color orders and something like that. So we can configure those, and then they store that locally and can handle that translation. But there's that global colors. So if I decide that, hey, purple is what it means when I have a party. Nope, I don't like that anymore. I want it to be this different color. I can change that and push, and it goes to all the boxes. And that's another thing that's timestamped. So they are sharing that in a broadcast sense to each other. And every now and then when a new box comes online, it says, "Hey, do I have the latest global LED colors?" And one of its siblings will go, "Yeah, you have this timestamp. That's the same one I have. You're good." Or, "Nope, you're out of date. Here's the new one." And it'll automatically bring itself up to date with all the others. Because we have 58 of these boxes, that's definitely an important thing because like we don't have them all plugged in at a time. We have spares. We have ones that are unplugged or in different setups depending on what we're doing. So that allows us to not keep them all in sync, but bring them all into sync anytime they come on. At the same time, a lot of those settings are stored on the boxes themselves. They're stored in that EEPROM, in that NVS, so they carry with the box as we take them around to different places, things like that. Yeah, so the boxes are really great at keeping themselves in sync, keeping themselves online. Um, just a core tenet of the system is that the boxes actually don't handle much of anything. They are kind of edge processing. So they take they take that tag scan and they send it to the world. They say, "Hey, this was a party tag and it was this number." They send it up, and then the server does with it what it will and sends the feedback down. That means if you get feedback, if you get an LED change on that box, it doesn't mean that it read the tag. It means it read the tag, it sent it to the server, and the server said something back, which tells you, hey, the whole system worked. There's also lots of reconnects and resets that they automatically do to make sure that they're always in a good state and that they're never just hanging there. But we've done a lot to try to make that system as reliable as possible, knowing that we're dealing with a lot of Wi-Fi, dealing with a lot of wireless over a large campus, to get all these things talking to each other and all these things in sync at the whole time.